Ladies and gentlemen, last race of the 2012 ASN Canada FIA Canadian Karting Championships is rolling off the grid.
Wow! Dernière course déjà de ces championnats canadiens de karting 2012 ASN Canada FIA présentés par Canadian Tire. C'est les Briggs Stratton Senior et Masters présentés par Inferno Racing Clutches. Une course de... How many laps around this time? Sorry, I don't have the...
16 laps.
16 laps, of course, Briggs and Stratton being 16 lappers. So, 16 tours dans cette course pour ces pilotes de Briggs Stratton Senior et Masters. Vous savez que dans les Masters, il y en a 7 d'inscrits avec Steve Durkak qui a eu un très, très beau week-end jusqu'à présent. Cameron Nabbert également. Et pour ce qui est des seniors, eh bien, ce sera Jean-François Lafontaine et Steve Zaghetti qui seront sur la première ligne. Ils vont faire le tour, se positionner encore une fois. Ils auront droit à un tour complet. Et ensuite, on ira avec le coup de départ, donc le drapeau vert pour cette course.
Interesting to see what kind of mindset Steven Zaghetti can get into. Here's a guy that was trying to be on Team Canada, almost was able to get there. A flawless performance by himself in second, but he obviously was up against a flawless performance by Jesse Lazar. Now he's got to jump behind the wheel with Briggs Stratton and get himself refocused and try to win this race. He's a racer, he'll do it. Yeah. But you got to think there's something in the back of his mind where he just was really, really hoping that they were going to be able to step it up here.
It looks like we've got already somebody out. From what we see on the TV here.
Driver off the racetrack early, too bad for that. Of course,
mechanical problems.
Something happened early on here, but yeah, we're getting set to go. Our drivers getting ready to roll them up here. Drivers in position, 2 by 2 for the final race of the 2012 edition of this Canadian Karting Championship. We want to, of course, thank everybody from ASN Canada and FIA for all the hard work they put into these events. And Canadian Tire, we just could not do it without Canadian Tires. They have stepped up as the presenting sponsor of the program here, and you'll see that Canadian Tire logo all over the place here at the racetrack here in Mont Tremblant, because they have been such a devout supporter of Canadian karting and this Canadian National Championship program. Drivers now rolling through 16 laps is all we have left from today's Championship Sunday. Briggs and Stratton Senior and Masters looking to go green.
And it looks like it's 7:27 news out.
We're ready, and we've got it one more time. Green, green, green. Racing up into turn number 1. Zaghetti tried to hold it from the outside. He's going to go back a couple of spots. The inside road gets a good advantage coming through there, and it is Lafontaine with the lead. Casely into second. Zaghetti slips right in there to third spot.
Ouais, c'est Lafontaine qui a pris les commandes de cette course. Casely derrière Zaghetti, troisième. Donc, les positions qui se sont assez bien gardées pour Lafontaine. Ça a été un excellent départ. Et comme vous pouvez le voir, ils doivent reprendre cette motricité rapidement. Alors, Lafontaine qui est le meneur pour l'instant.
So the opening lap is when everybody kind of just starts to settle in, get into that train, and start going. Oh, a couple drivers together, almost one over further back. Those are the Masters drivers getting together at the tail of the field.
Wow.
I want to say that was Crawford Kilpatrick, Andre Oliver, and Shane Clough involved in that one.
Going around that big Canadian Tire banner there, back onto the track. Sûrement fait peur aux officiels et aux caméramans derrière. Qui ne s'attendaient pas à voir un pilote faire le tour de la bannière Canadian Tire, alors que ça se poursuit dans le bout du droit au virage numéro 15. Et là, Lafontaine qui a beaucoup de pression déjà. On est un derrière l'autre, très, très près.
Everybody trying to set into place here right now. Let's have a look at where they are on the order.
Et Lafontaine, Casely, and Zaghetti. John Buzza is now in 4th place.
William Peters running in 5th. Nicholas Michaud in 6th spot. Keegan Dobbelstein in 7th. Jonathan Treadwell 8th. Seamus Vinot in 9th. And Alex Van Snick in the 10th spot. Fastest driver leader right now in our Masters category is Cameron Nabbert. Then it's Steve Durkak and Shane Clough.
Skylar Dunning in Kurt 727 was the one with the mechanical problems at the beginning there. Donc la pilote Skylar Dunning est malheureusement hors de cette course, le 727.
The drivers involved in that incident earlier on, as we said, were actually Andre Olivier, Barry Nicholson, and John Beltrami. The drivers, and it was actually Nicholson that almost went over, but was able to, he was just kind of up on 2 wheels, but was able to bring it back down and continue on. So a good save there by Nicholson as he continues on. Up front, it looks like we have about a 4-driver battle here as John Buza in the number 714 holding on to that lead group. And then we have two more there as well, William Peters and Nicholas Michaud, to make it probably 6 drivers in this lead pack. And then we have another group to make the top 10.
Ben, on a un groupe de 6, ensuite de 4, mais là, j'ai l'impression que ça va se former tout d'un groupe et on va avoir 10 pilotes à la file indienne comme ça assez rapidement. C'est toujours La Fontaine qui est le meneur avec Casely et Gary Buza. Peters est 5e, Michaud est 6e, Treadwell est 7e, Doblstein est 8e, and Vino is 9th, Van Snick is 10th.
So a good little fight up front here now. Everybody's settling into it. Our last race of the day. Briggs Stratton Senior and Masters. Just a couple laps in the books. It's a 16-lapper for these drivers. They have to try to see if they can't pull away a bit here. And out front it is Jean-Francois Lafontaine in the number 762. Then it's Gerald Casely in the 704 and Steven Zagatti in the 731. It looks like a Burrell up front. And then we have a CRG in second and Tony Kart in third. Can't quite see the manufacturer of that force kart, but 3 different go-karts up front, the top 3.
Ouais, 3 différents manufacturiers de karts devant, ici avec La Fontaine qui mène dans le Birel. Pour l'instant, ça se passe bien pour lui. On va être patient, c'est une course de 16 tours, on vous le rappelle. On est à peine dans le 3e tour de cette course. Ils vont tenter de se positionner et à un moment donné, vous allez commencer à voir l'élection où on va commencer à se dépasser assez rapidement.
Little gap of probably about a second and a half between Neighbor and Durkak. That is for the lead in the Masters category. They're working their way over to turn number 9 right now. I believe they are together on the racetrack. Indeed, they are. In fact, 1.9 seconds, so almost 2 seconds is the gap between first and second in the Masters class. Cameron Neighbor, again, having a good run. He won the pre-final and now finds himself with a 2-second advantage over Durkak here as we're only into the 3rd or 4th lap. Long time to go here still for Briggs Stratton Senior and Masters.
On vient d'avoir un dépassement dans le virage numéro 9. On va essayer d'obtenir. C'est loin derrière, par contre. Toujours pas de changement. C'est La Fontaine, Casely, c'est Gary Buza. No change in top 4 right now.
Number 714, John Buza staying right with them right now. 4 driver breakaways. We do have a couple other drivers dropping wheels. We got dust all over the place over in 2.
Yeah. That's 796, I do believe.
Looks to me like, let's see, I said the 796 battling it up there with...
706. Could have been 706.
We'll have a better look at that when they come back around and tell you who that battle was.
It feels like we're in Allen in the desert, right?
We got some dust coming in here on us, that's for sure.
What do they call it?
Aline? That's not the home this time. We're going to Portugal. Portimao, Portugal for the Worlds this year.
Not a bad gig.
Rumors are possibly that the Worlds next year could be in the United States. We'll have to see. Coming down the front straightaway again. Everybody's setting into place here now. LaFontaine still your leader. Casely runs in second. Zagatti third. And as we said, John Buza in the number 714 holding on there in 4th. 5th, 6th, and 7th now is Nicholas Michaud, William Peters, and Jonathan Treadwell.
Toujours pas de changement chez nos meneurs. La Fontaine, Casely, Zagatti, Buza. C'est plus loin derrière Michaud, Peters et Treadwell. On a deux groupes, un de 4 et un de 3 derrière. Tout à l'heure, ils étaient presque les 10 ensemble. Maintenant, ça s'est scindé un petit peu. Mais à 4, on continue de pousser très, très fort. On garde cette ligne un derrière l'autre dans le but de pouvoir faire un peu de siennage avec les autres et continuer à prendre de la vitesse. En Briggs Stratton, c'est une stratégie qui est très importante. Looks like nobody's in a hurry to pass here. They're going to be patient.
I think the leaders are just going to hang around here for a while. We still have a long way to go. We've still got 10 laps. It's only 6 laps down, 10 to go this time by. Those leaders realize they're just trying to pull away, and in fact, the longer they sit there, they may even get a chance to be able to stretch away from Buza if he makes a mistake. He's been having trouble staying right with them. He'll fall back about a length and he catches back up again. So again, here he is again, right almost to the rear bumper.
And 788 of Nicolas Michaud trying to reach this group in front. Nicolas Michaud qui est dans le 788 se retrouve tout seul en 5e place présentement. Tente de rattraper le groupe de 4 devant. On aura besoin d'aide.
Yeah, Nicholas Michaud, as you said, in the 788 now up into the 5th position. Jonathan Treadwell goes to 6th. William Peters back to 7th. So Treadwell going to see if he can't hook up with Michaud, see if they can work their way back forward. But Michaud by himself on the racetrack, probably about a second ahead of Treadwell and about 1.4 seconds behind Buza, that lead group. So he's kind of caught there in no man's land at this point.
He's going to need some help.
And if he ends up getting help, it's going to be from guys that are probably going to try to pass him when they get there. So he's 5th position right now, but not quite sure what to do with it.
Lafontaine passe devant nous, toujours meneur de cette course, suivi de Casely, Zaghetti et Bouza. Michaud qui est 5e, Treadwell, Vino, Peters, Gauthier et Dovelstein, le top 10 présentement. A little action in the back there.
Yeah, they're trying to make some moves through. That's the 700 losing a spot. That's Keegan Dovelstein. Is Alex Van Snick able to slide through? So Van Snick now gets by Dovelstein. That's for 10th position.
Another one out off the course, off the track, trying to get back on. Bringing a little bit of gravel, a little rocks there. That's going to help.
More dust flying.
Yeah. Bit of dry weekend here. Tout un week-end assez chaud ici à Tremblant pour la présentation de ce championnat canadien de karting 2012 à SN Canada FIA présenté par Canadian Tire. On est dans la dernière course. Briggs Stratton Senior et Masters, une course de 16 tours. Il en reste 9, mesdames et messieurs. Et vos meneurs qui sont toujours là vont passer devant nous. C'est Lafontaine, toujours premier. Casely, deuxième. Zaghetti et Bouza, toujours pas de changement alors que Michaud se retrouve en 5e place.
Halfway through, halfway.
Mi-course, 16 tours, on est 8 tours de compléter.
Once again, those lead drivers just kind of settling in here again. It's been the 672 of Jean-Francois Lafontaine on the Burrell leading the way. All those drivers turning pretty much 102.7s.
I was looking for Steve Durkak, who's just passed in front of us all by himself there.
He's about 3.5 seconds behind Cameron Nabert, the leader in the Masters category. Nabert in the number 867, stretching away as he has been throughout the race here. Looks like turning laps probably about a half a second quicker than Durkak right now. So that's the key, is Nabert is looking very strong and has been able to pull away from Durkak, who is having a pretty solid run here in second.
Ah, voilà, nous mettons un trio de meneurs suivi derrière de...
We do want to have a look too. Remember that top 3 drivers in both classes here are going to get that generator, a Whisper Quiet Briggs inverter generator valued at about $900. Everybody in the top 3 in all 3 classes for Briggs & Stratton, they're providing a Briggs & Stratton generator as well. The hard charger, the driver that passes the most cars in their class, also getting awarded a case of Briggs & Stratton AMSOIL 4T race oil. That's worth $200 as well. So Briggs & Stratton offering up a ton here right now for these drivers.
Briggs & Stratton, très généreux au cours de ce week-end en offrant encore une fois des génératrices de valeur de $900 au top 3 de chacune des 3 catégories, soit Masters, évidemment, Senior et les Juniors. Alors, également, le pilote qui aura dans chacune des catégories effectué la meilleure remontée, lui remportera une caisse d'huile offerte par Briggs & Stratton. Voici nos meneurs qui passent devant avec 6 tours à faire, 6 laps to go. Lafontaine toujours premier, Casely, Zaghetti, Bouza, pas de changement. Bouza now a little bit, now he's back right, really close, but still not in the top 3 right there, really close to the top 3. Il était très très près tout à l'heure, Bouza, mais là il se rapproche tout doucement.
Bouza doing a decent job to hold on to that position here now. Running good lap times. They're all running 102.8s here. And they're sticking right together. And again, here's we start winding down the time, right? We're down to 10 laps. Only 6 laps remaining. It'll be 5 to go next time by.
Still Nabert, toujours Nabert qui est le meneur dans la catégorie Masters. Donc, ils sont 7 pilotes dans cette catégorie Masters. Ce sont, si vous voulez les retrouver sur la piste, ce sont les pilotes avec les numéros qui commencent avec un 8. Donc, les 800 qui sont pour l'instant dans la course. Revoici encore une fois le quatuor de meneur. Oh, on tente un dépassement ici. Est-ce qu'on va tenter un dépassement à l'intérieur? Oui, c'est fait. Et juste comme ça, Lafontaine se retrouve 3e. Just like that. Zaghetti moved, Casely moved, but Lafontaine is now back in 2nd place.
Very interesting as Zaghetti pulls the trigger here with 5 to go and decides to go into the lead. In fact, holding a little bit of an advantage here now. Probably about 4 or 5 kart lengths as Zaghetti jumps out in front. Lafontaine's looking back at Casey saying, hey, I'm going to need some help here. You got to get on me here right now because Zaghetti's pulling away. And indeed, Szigeti into the lead. It puts LaFontaine now into second. Casely in the third spot as they'll work their way onto the back street. It'll be 4 to go this time by, and an early move for Szigeti as he goes down the inside in 1.
Szigeti qui a décidé d'y aller avec 5 tours à faire pour le dépassement et il se retrouve maintenant le meneur. Mais regardez, LaFontaine s'est tout juste rapproché de lui et est allé lui dire « Hey, buddy, je suis là. I'm here. »
Yeah, LaFontaine rolled right up onto the rear bumper and gave him a little touch going in there to let him know, hey, you know what? We got you again. You're leading, but we're with you. So again, Szigeti now your leader. LaFontaine goes to second. Casely in third, and John Buza running in the fourth position. Now, I don't know. I would have said that maybe second would have been the place to be again. I don't know if Szigeti meant to go all the way to the lead or what happened here, but he is the leader right now, and it'll be interesting to see what strategy he tries to employ to hold back these guys coming over the last couple of laps.
Szigeti, LaFontaine, Casely, 1, 2, 3. Buza still in fourth, toujours en 4e position. Donc, c'est notre quatuor de meneur pour l'instant. Derrière, on ne se rapproche pas du tout. Vino is now in 5th place. Michaud, Gauthier, Peters. Alors qu'on va peut-être même rattraper certains retardataires, en fait, qui sont dans le groupe. Somebody's going to get a...
Oh, because we're closing up here on the... we're closing up on the tail end of the Masters category. We want to get those drivers off. They get the blue flag to get brought off the racetrack so that we don't have anything happen with these drivers racing up front. So ideally, this is number 820 is going to be able to get off the track. That I believe the 820 is. Let's have a look at the number. It's Andre Olivier.
Yeah.
They're actually going to catch him somewhere on the racetrack here. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here with Olivier.
They caught him right there.
Oh, they've got him already. Yeah. They're going to go around the outside. Good. He does a great job, though. Yeah. Gets out of the way. Nice job to not affect the race here at this point.
Yep. Unfortunately, losing a lot of speed in the process. Perdu beaucoup de vitesse. Donc, Olivier, pour laisser passer le quatuor de meneur, lorsqu'on vous donne ce drapeau bleu avec la croix, le X, il faut laisser passer les plus rapides devant. Lorsqu'on est dans cette catégorie, it's going to be another one for.
Here we go. Yeah, they're going to get the 803 of Barry Nickerson. Yeah. He's was involved in that incident, so of course they fell back in. Now, 2 more laps remaining, 2 to go.
Oh, il reste 2 tours, mesdames et messieurs. C'est toujours Szigeti, LaFontaine, Casely, Buza, le quatuor de meneur. Est-ce que Szigeti va garder sa première position? Est-ce que LaFontaine va pouvoir le dépasser vers la toute fin? On reste très près. On tente de garder le contact avec le pilote devant.
Steven Szigeti leading the way over LaFontaine. Casely in third. Buza runs in 4th spot. They're closing up on Nickerson, but he will pull off next time by. He's going to be okay coming through. It'll be the final lap coming around next time by. 2 to go here in Briggs Stratton Senior and Masters.
Ils s'en viennent coming up on slower traffic in front. Ils vont avoir un peu de retardataire. Ils ont un retardataire devant. J'espère qu'il les a vus et qu'il va se ranger. Oui, il se range sagement du côté. Voici les 4 meneurs qui sont dans le droit. Est-ce qu'on va avoir un dépassement vers la toute fin? Are we going to see a move there? No! LaFontaine qui reste derrière Szigeti pour tout de suite, alors qu'on va leur donner le signal du dernier tour.
1 more lap to go. Nickerson, they caught him coming onto the straightaway. He'll go off to the racetrack. Buza's not holding on. There's LaFontaine trying to signal to Casey behind him that we're going to go together and go by. Can Szigeti hold him by? They'll have to try him on the outside in the back straightaway because he knows that Szigeti's going to keep it down to the bottom. He gets a better run out of turn number 3 over to 4. Holds about a half a cart length lead. Working their way through 5 now. Into the S's here. 5, 6, and 7. Szigeti with about a cart length. Casely right there wondering what he's going to do. LaFontaine ready to get aggressive.
Est-ce que LaFontaine va pouvoir rattraper Szigeti alors que Casely derrière semble vouloir l'aider un petit peu. Ils sont dans le virage numéro 10. Toujours pas de changement. On va prendre le 12 et le 13 et ensuite on va voir dans le droit ce qui va se passer. Est-ce qu'on va réussir? Oh, je pense qu'on tente l'intérieur ici. Oui, LaFontaine a tenté l'intérieur et c'est fait.
Pass already over in turn number 13. LaFontaine to the inside. Here comes Casely down the bottom. Here comes Buza back into the hunt. Casey's going to get the help. Buza into the back of Casely. Gerald Casely now with the lead. Szigeti back to 4th. Here comes LaFontaine to the inside. Final corner coming around. The winner is going to be Gerald Casely!
Oh, Casely qui l'emporte dans une très belle course excitante. La Fontaine qui termine deuxième et ça a été jusqu'à la toute fin et de belle façon les gars se saluent. What a great way to finish this as they all sing good job to everybody here. Wow, quel bel esprit sportif les gars qui ont fait une très belle course.